Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Just Talking Tech with your boy Carl, aka the real Ginger Tech, and to my left here, it's actually like that's off. That feels weird, just because the way I'm angled now. I point back is Justin Tech. How's it going, Justin?
It's going pretty good, pretty good. How are you?
Good. I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. So yeah, so we're a little late there. I forgot to post this all over, the socials of media. So yeah, hopefully people find their way here. We got Mark Gump already in here. What's up? Hey Mark, how's it going? We also got Bill Wilson over here, starting sooner or later-ish. Hey, we start when we start. It's always around 7 plus or minus a couple minutes. So
And that's a show. Goodbye, guys.
and that's a show. Yeah, I'm done. No, that's enough for me today. I just can't do it. No. So, but yeah. So we got some stuff to talk about today. In case you didn't notice, we're going to be talking about Apple. Apple. We're going to start calling it Apple now. Apple. It's the Apple versus Epic lawsuit. So they did finally reach a decision. Epic. Yeah, they did reach a
resolution
on Friday. So we'll talk about that. We got a couple other things here. Little PS5 action because Justin's liking his, and they're coming out with all sorts of good stustuff here.
Well, I'm liking and frustrated with it.
And frustrated, yes, he's frustrated with his. So we also got a new vehicle from BMW. I didn't even tell Justin about this one.
Oh,
this is gonna be nice. Yes. So, Mark Gump gets to watch with lights and air conditioning this week. Good job. Lydia says, yes, it is Apple season. That is right. They did just do an announcement. I didn't really have anything in particular that I was like, oh yeah, I really want to talk about that as far as what was on their stream. But it's iPhone season, really. It's really phone season, actually. Around this time, you get the Apple event here in August, September-ish. It's usually beginning September. Yes, it's already middle. October is Google's announcement, and do we have a Samsung one coming up, or we just did?
There just was the Samsung. They just had the Fold and stuff.
August, September, October. That's right. That seems to be a kind of a standard rotation they do when they do these. But before we get into that, Justin, how's it going?
It's going all right. I'm not got much going on right now.
Yeah, neither do I.
I got band-aids on the backs of my arms from I'm on a
tell Kelly medication. To stop biting so hard.
I'm on a medication, and I got my infusion today, and they have to put it in the backs of both of my arms, and then watch me for 2 hours because the most common side effect is anaphylactic shock, and so for the next few hours, I have to carry an EpiPen with me, even though I'm not allergic to anything
that you know of.
I've been tested for a lot of stuff, so
yeah,
most things that they test for, I'm not allergic to.
Yeah,
I might be allergic to mosquitoes and bees, but not severely.
Yeah, but not enough to be necessarily carrying an Epic. But
other than that, I've been actually working on my patio on the retaining wall.
Yes, he has. That's been doing pretty good.
I put up a retaining wall. Carl helped me with it a couple weekends ago, and we didn't get the corner done because I smashed my thumb real bad.
Yeah.
And so this last week or so, I've been playing with trying to figure out how to do the corner because, retaining wall corners aren't just straightforward.
No, it's not just a simple do this, do that.
I've changed it since you saw a picture last because it had that bottom corner that I was trying to do a 90.
It was a very right angle,
Yeah, I was trying to do a 90, and then I couldn't figure out how to do the next level of 90 with and not show a flat side of a smooth side of the brick, and so I cut that a little bit more, pulled it in, but that adjusted the entire thing going up, so it looks very similar. every rock needed to be cut again.
Oh, gotcha.
So
Well, that's cool.
that was
That's
fun.
awesome.
That's been my life.
Yeah.
How about you? What are you up to?
I haven't really, I haven't done much. Been trying to get a video card. Um, I've been working a lot. I got a vacation coming up here soon. I'm gonna be flying out to California actually. Go visit Craig for our once a decade meetup in person. So, no, really, hasn't been much. I have all these ideas for videos. It's just finding the energy and the motivation to get the videos posted because I know we're so close to 1,000 and I haven't posted anything in God, it's been over a year, like as far as an actual video. So I'm trying to get back into that. It's just tough. Break that habit. So but no, nothing else really new with me. I did see we have a Larry Brown in the house. Hey, Larry, thanks for stopping by. I'm assuming your internet. Oh, no, wait, hold on. Oh, greetings. We'll see how long this is going to last. Still no modem. Had to order another one. I'm sorry, Larry. That sucks. I'd go crazy without internet. Like,
Yeah. I go crazy when my internet drops for a minute. I'm like, what the heck?
You're like, ah. So, but you know what? Let's go ahead and jump on into it. I'm going to start off with the surprise one. Justin?
Yes.
Are you ready for BMW's new vehicle it's coming out with?
Not the scooter?
Not a scooter.
Because they did the electric scooter, right?
Nope. It is an electric bike.
Ooh.
They look kind of weird, but the cool thing is it can go 28 miles an hour. But it's just a bicycle, so it's not technically a motorcycle.
Although there's
by definition, I think it's a motorcycle, but because it has a motor,
it's
and it has
does it have pedals?
Cycle. Yes. Oh,
so
yeah,
it's a moped.
That's true. Oh, there you go. There's the loophole.
Yeah, it's a moped. There are still some like trails you're not supposed to drive mopeds on.
Yeah.
But and this, even then, because this doesn't make noise, you might get away with it just fine. It probably doesn't matter, but that's cool. Yeah. How expensive is it? A BMW bike.
Well, now here's the thing. Hold on.
10 grand.
It's not something that they're trying to sell.
Oh, really?
Yes. So BMW's e-bike concepts are motorcycles outside the city, bicycles within. So it's a rental, like the different bikes you can rent. So like while you're in, say, downtown, you would only be able to pedal with it. But the moment you get past a geo-fenced area, they'll allow you to kick on the motor and just haul. So, yeah. I thought, this is like the Lime scooters you have in Rochester there. Same kind of concept where you can just rent them. And I'm sure that there's going to be some sort of, oh, wait a minute. No, I was wrong. It actually goes up to 37 miles per hour on multi-lane roads beyond the city limits. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know if I would trust it.
If 37 is the cap, it's still not a motorcycle at that point. Mm-hmm. That is a scooter because that's still under the speed limit because it's 40 for a scooter, isn't it?
I don't know, to be honest with you. Bill Wilson says depends on the size of the motor, I think. The BMW Lime bike. Yeah, so I thought that was kind of a cool concept. How they're doing it. Well, more or less, honestly, I just thought it was kind of a cool, weird looking bike. Like just that picture there. I need to get it lined up on so everybody can see it a little better. Boom. Just this weird
mopeds top out at 40 miles per hour.
Okay, so mopeds 40, above 40, you're looking at motorcycle.
And scooter can get up to 75 miles per hour, and a motorcycle is...
I think motorcycles is defined by the... Well, I think it's also defined by the cc's of the bike. Because the bike. Because if I remember right, in Rochester, anything under 50 cc's, you didn't need a motorcycle license, but anything over.
So yeah, according to this, which I'm looking at State Farm's website, so that
okay,
I just like one of the top ones.
Their definition.
A moped is considered 50 cc or less, and a scooter is 250 cc or less. Anything more than that is a motorcycle, and a motorcycle has the engine between your knees instead of under your butt, like a scooter does.
Well, this doesn't really have a cc per se, so I mean, really, I guess it's just a bicycle. They're gonna have to update that definition. But no, my thing here though, like the biggest thing that caught my eye on this, like the frame's all weird up here. It's like, yeah, this is what I thought was cool. Just that standard, or like the single standalone arm coming out. You see what I'm talking? Oh, I need to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no frame coming down this way. It's all just right off the back.
Right.
It's a cool look, one-sided, opens it up. And then I wish they would show more of this guy here. That one looks like he could be cool too. Because that looks like it has a more of a old school chopper style seat, like a bomber style chopper.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was cool. What do you have? You showed me something a little bit ago that was cool for kids that we wish we had when we were younger.
Oh, yeah. Boom.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff.
So
that's the stuff dreams are made of.
Apparently, last year Hasbro resurrected the Tiger Electronics handheld video games. It was literally just the old ones redone. So it wasn't this. This is somebody bought one of the new ones, so they were not ruining old stock or anything, and they opened it up and put an emulator inside.
I was about to say they probably jammed a Raspberry Pi in there with like a 2.5 inch TFT screen or something.
Yeah,
that's still cool.
Yeah,
though.
Pi gaming. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Raspberry Pi 0W and a 2.6 inch full color LCD screen.
Oh, okay. So that's actually a pretty nice screen. Marquee Pi gaming. Oh yeah, no, there's some gems here. Ooh. So that upper left one, you know what that's from, right?
Those from the Dreamcast.
Yes, it is. And those are slick. That's like a standalone, like gaming console, full color screens. That's cool. They're expensive as shit, though. Holy crap.
I mean, for what it is, that's like, I used to think this kind of stuff was expensive, but when you think about what you have to do to put it together,
like, the Circuit Shield was like the second one in there with the N64 logo. Yep. $340. For $30 less, I could have something that I could fit 3 of them in my hand. Like the full size ones, I think those are priced right. That small one though, like $215 to $310. I understand it's a very niche thing, but like that's tiny. It does have the nostalgia factor of having the Dreamcast.
But the enclosure. Tiny, I think also the tiny screens are more expensive.
Yeah.
And then it's more engineering goes into it, like, and maybe it's got a different board in it. But other than that, it's physically smaller, but it's probably more work.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure it's more work, but it's like, for me, I go, I like the big screens. Actually, I really like that top middle one. That just looks nice. So, other random tech I found. Before we do that, actually, just doing a quick, a quick scroll through the chat. Larry Brown, when you were talking about the retaining wall, Justin, he wants to know, is that built out of Legos?
Oh,
the Lego retaining wall?
Basically. I mean, the type of retaining wall brick it is, you just set them on top of each other. So
Yeah, pretty much.
It's adult
that's how
Lego.
they work. So,
well, not adult Lego.
Yeah.
That's different. That's something different. We're not going to go there.
Lydia says I like the touring bike for comfort. Bill Wilson says Larry Brown, my cell signal is spotty on my farm. I can go 50 feet down the road and go from 4 bars to maybe 1. Yeah, cell phone reception's a bitch sometimes.
Yeah, and sometimes to get it to go, like they'll do weird things with the shape of antennas to try to get it to spread out. But when they do that, it'll make it effectively have a hard line between good signal and bad signal, even out in the open.
Right here, I can go here. I'm good. I can go there, and I just have nothing.
Yeah, I would when I was camping a while back at one of the state parks, and in the bathroom, full signal. In the campsite, full signal. The walk between the two, nothing, 0.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it was like 4 campsites between our site and the bathroom.
Yeah, no, I've never really had that hard of a line as far as like here it's good, here it's bad type.
There were a lot of trees at that park, so
I suppose that's probably messing with quite a bit of it there. So, oh, just got some new glasses you should check out, Justin. I know how much you love Facebook and Ray-Bans put together.
Nope.
All right, so Facebook and Ray-Ban has released their smart glasses. Well, actually, this is leaked before their actual launch. One thing I will say about these, okay, so they are Ray-Bans, which Ray-Bans are not my favorite, but at the same time, looking at these, they don't look gaudy. Like there's not some massive bulbous bump poking out the side here. Like I picture AR glasses eventually when they become like an actual thing, being very similar to this. You know, we'll see the camera lenses kind of shrink down, but I mean, like,
I imagine they'll put them like inside the lens, just up in the corners. So from your point of view, the lens has a little notch in it that you can't see because it's up in the corner, and from everybody else's point of view, it looks like normal sunglasses.
Yeah,
you know why do you need it to be bumped out like that? Put it behind the glasses and have a little clear spot. People will never see it.
On that note, I do feel like Facebook was smart here, just because Ray-Bans in general, or at least this particular like style of Ray-Bans, they didn't have to change a lot. So like all they did was just kind of thicken up like the arms that go over the ears. So it wasn't like
I imagine the edges are significantly bigger too. Not so much that a cursory glance is going to tell you it's different, but enough that if you look at it, you might take a double look and be like, that's a little bit thicker than I was expecting.
I'm just gonna throw this up there. Boom. That's a like classic Ray-Ban set.
Yeah. So and if you put that side by side, from the side of the lens, it goes straight up, and from the straight up, and that one it bumps out.
What do you mean the side of the lens?
So
are you talking about this little bump that let me get this.
I can't see that very well. It looks like it's straight.
So that has that. Okay,
so it has a little bit of one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It has a little bit of one.
They were particular about who they chose, because you look at that versus this, like it's like the same thing, slightly accentuated. Exactly. So it's not out of the realm. Like, what was it? They used to have these MP3 sunglasses that Dog the Bounty Hunter used to wear. Do you remember those?
No.
I think they're made by Oakley's. I mean, you had to finish. Look, just boom, autocomplete. Let me find these things. Oh God. So they used to have. Yep, here they are. Right. God, why can't I ever find like a good picture of stuff? So they used to have these guys right here, and this is like clearly like they're just tacking stuff on. Whereas Facebook went, "Hey, let's find somebody who already makes a bulky set of glasses and just kind of fit our tech into them with minimal adjustments." Mm-hmm. So I will give them that. They definitely played it smart.
They look better than a lot of them.
100%.
I'm just on this side of the fence of saying they're still noticeable, but they're not super noticeable.
Yeah, I'm sure, I wonder if they did like some sort of like high gloss and then just had it to where it's like glass over top of the lens to where it just kind of melded in with the frame if they'd be able to make it less noticeable.
Yeah, and if it was just like, because that's naturally bulky, but they still had to bulk it up just a little bit. If they can slim that part down a little bit, the frames down a little bit, and that's where I'm saying you just bump it into the lens a bit.
Yeah.
And then the frame doesn't matter anymore. Because I don't care if you make the sides thicker, because the sides don't touch the side of your head like most of the... I mean, eventually they do, but...
Yeah. But I was just kind of impressed by how slim that was, because I've seen some other definitely thicker. So, real quick, Mark Gump says, make a case that holds your phone. Have joysticks press the screen for controls. Well, fun fact about that, Mark, it's already been done. I just had to bring this up. Boom. Wait, no, that's your screen. My screen. There we go. I just click that and no, I don't want to Google Lens it. So this here, they have a couple different variations depending on what you want. God, let me zoom out, make it easier to see.
Yeah, that one I think is the iPhone one that you're just stick an iPhone in there.
I think that's USB-C down there.
Is that USB-C? Yeah. Oh, that one does connect by you. So that is not the one that's touching that's doing the touching the screen part.
Yeah, I have seen ones that do the touch the screen.
Yeah, I know I've seen them and they look very similar to that.
Like here's one right here. Like all that just slides right over. Well, I need one of those for when I play Pokemon. I mean, yes, other games. So, but yeah, stuff. Mark, they do make them. And you know what else we need to talk while we're on the topic of gaming. Justin, you want to lead us into what's hot and what's not with the PS5?
So there are new things coming for the PS5, and apparently it should be starting to go out tomorrow.
Yes.
Major update for the PS5. I'll be looking forward to this. M.2 storage. It's also doing PS4 and PS5 versions of the same game will get separate slots. That was kind of annoying before because I had two versions of a game installed, and I'd have to go into the menu and select the right PS4 versus PS5. So that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, we had to go through and we were trying to figure out some things on there.
Yeah, I eventually got it to work, but it was just really annoying. PlayStation Now players can choose between 720 and 1080p streaming. It's kind of cool.
So were you? I guess I'm not a PlayStation Now player, so was it only 720 or was it only 1080?
I think it was only 720 before for PlayStation Now.
Okay,
which is that's their game streaming that lets you play. Basically, if you subscribe to PlayStation Now, which is separate from PlayStation Plus, you get the entire, not the entire, but quite a bit of the PS3 library that you can stream and play all the games without having to buy them.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of games. So,
see, I might need to look into that because I really want to go back to Uncharted and start from the beginning.
Yeah, that's probably on PlayStation Now, and it's like $3 a month or something. It's not expensive, and it doesn't install on your console. You're streaming it from their servers and stuff, so it's kind of fun. I'm pretty sure it was only 720 before, and it's 1080 now as an option anyway. There was something else.
Did you already talk about the big old M.2?
Yeah, I started with M.2 being a thing, so
yeah.
That's kind of the main thing of this entire update. The rest of this is kind of it's okay. Not a big deal for me, but the M.2, like the PS5 has like an 800 gig drive in it, and 100 gigs of it is used for the PlayStation itself, so you only have 700 gigs of space.
Yeah.
And that sounds like a decent amount, but when a game is 80 plus gigs, that means you can only have a few games on there. And then, but your screenshots and the background screen recording that goes on all the time is taking up space. I don't even have a dozen games installed, and I'm out of space.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You could eat up space real quick.
So I think I'm gonna get a 2 terabyte drive to throw in there.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Once it's up,
kind of to tap onto this, that we talked about this earlier. What else is coming to the PS5? You don't remember?
No.
Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. So, it's funny. I saw this, I heard about this, and I'm like, that is awesome. And there was one thing that stuck out of my mind that when I said this to Justin, he instantly just jumped on it. Go ahead, Justin.
So Knights of the Old Republic was an Xbox exclusive when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
It is a PlayStation exclusive for the remake, which is kind of interesting. Yeah. But I'm really excited for this remake. But it says it's a remake. Is it a remake or a remaster?
So it's supposed to be a remake. So everything that it should be, it's supposed to be remastered / remake from everything I've heard so far on this. It's not 100% true to the original, kind of like Final Fantasy VII.
No, Final Fantasy VII is not a remaster at all. It's 100% remake.
Okay.
Because after the first level, it immediately has significant depart from the original story. Yeah. In fact,
I suppose that's true. Yeah.
In fact, the story behind the new one, spoiler warning, plug your ears if you don't want spoilers about. You already know this part.
I've muted the headset. I can't hear it. Just give me a thumbs up when you're done.
Is the new version, the bad guy from the new version, saw glimpses of the existing version. It's like a multiverse situation of the previous version. So it's a multiverse situation. He doesn't like what he was seeing, and so he diverges from that. So it's purposely different. So spoiler free bit, it's purposely different. So
okay, gotcha.
That's the difference between a remake and a remaster. Is a remaster should be as true to the original as possible while bringing things into the new world, whereas a remake is, if we were writing the story today, what would we do?
Yeah.
What would we change?
So I think this is going to kind of follow the same concept then of Final Fantasy, where it's like it will start off very similar. And it should be like, it should feel like the old one, but
you played through the entire old one, right?
I don't know if I played through the entire old one.
Do you know the twist?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, I'm not going to tell you then.
Okay, I might have to go play the old one real quick.
But I did spoil the fact that there is a twist. So
okay, yeah. Now you got me curious. But no, I loved this game. Like, that game was awesome. I think I still have it.
I have it somewhere too.
On the Xbox. I
have it in the hallway. I have an Xbox too.
Yep.
Actually, I think I have it on PC. You can get it. You can get the game on PC too, but it's not. The controls are weird.
All right. Stream's over. I gotta go buy this on Steam right now. Is it on Steam?
I think so.
Knights of the Old. Oh, they do. They have 1 and 2. $10
I never
each.
played 2.
I didn't either.
But
yeah, I might be playing this because I have the 360 controller. I can hook up to this.
You can do keyboard controls, but it's really wonky, I think.
Yeah. No, I've been getting a kick out of playing. I've been getting a kick out of playing some games with the old 360 controller on my homemade wireless adapter. It's tucked up there. Otherwise, I'd show you. It looks like garbage, but it works. So,
Yeah, I somewhere have the actual wireless adapter for the 360 controllers, the one that Microsoft sold separate.
I was too cheap to ever buy one.
Well,
and so I just made one out of somebody else's broken Xbox 360.
The way I got it is for a while Microsoft had a deal where a 360 controller was the same price with and without that adapter. And so I bought it with the adapter and just put the adapter in a box for a while. And then eventually I'm like, oh, hey, look, I want to put this on my computer, and I plugged it in. Like it literally the first year I had the adapter didn't even get plugged in.
Oh yeah. That's yeah, if you're paying the same either way, why not get it?
I needed another controller, and there was a deal where you got the adapter for free, basically.
Yeah, no reason not to. Lydia, you raised that one. Okay, I'm just saying, if you're going to call us geeks, you're part of that fault over there.
Wait, why is she calling us geeks?
Because we're nerding out about some Star Wars stuff. When I go to California, Craig already said, just him and I are going to Disneyland, and we're going to build lightsabers together. So awesome. So, yeah. And then his wife was like, no, you're not. And he went, yes, we are. I'm gonna rock it out. So, all right. What else you got there, Justin? Anything?
I got
we deep dive into
I got a Tesla patent, an interesting one.
Oh yeah. I want this one.
Yeah. So Tesla patented away laser wipers to blast bird poop off of a vehicle's windshield. So if we scroll down here, there's the diagram, and instead of having washers spray, apparently that's supposed to be lasers, and they're like doing micro pulses so it doesn't go through the window and stuff, and doesn't get laser beamed in your eyes and stuff. But the one of the person's things limits penetration of the laser beam to the depth of less than the thickness of the glass article. And he's like, what about others around the vehicle, including drivers on the road that might be exposed to unwanted reflections of the beam? I like this line. In an ideal world, that would never happen. But in an ideal world, self-driving Teslas wouldn't crash into police cruisers. So that it sounds like an interesting idea, but yeah, there are some safety concerns. I'd have to see it with my laser glasses on.
Oh, that is funny. Oh, okay. So I think I may have found. While we're on the Tesla topic, I think I may have found the Tesla that I would actually drive. It's a legit Tesla, just with some slight modifications. It has a grill. Now, mind you, that grill may have been painted on, but it has a grill. To me, this makes such a big improvement to the look of the Tesla. Plus, it has racing stripes, so it goes faster.
I would
adds at least 13 horsepower.
I would be tempted to think. So the reason they don't put a grill on it is because they don't need the air intake.
It's not necessary.
It's not necessary, and it helps with aerodynamics. But I imagine that you could put a grill on there that its job is just to run air over the cooling system and pipe it through and just go under and just do air routing, and it would give people that look that they're looking for.
I think I was talking with my sister the other day and my brother-in-law, and he was talking about getting one of the Ford Lightnings. He's like, I'd really like one of those. If I knew I could buy one and actually have it delivered on time, I would buy it right now.
I've ridden it.
But right now it's
oh no, the Lightning, not the Lightning.
The Lightning, not the Mach-E's.
Yeah.
And so one of the things we got to talking about is, I was like, well, would you guys, I was just curious. I was like, would you guys ever drive a Tesla? I says, no. Like, why? He says, it doesn't look like a normal car. And I think they're kind of on that same wavelength, something about the looks of it. And I think this might be one of those things that, while yes, the people that love Teslas the way they are, the people that don't love Teslas, this might be one of those things that make me, well, okay, I can see it now.
Well,
like,
okay.
There's something of lacking. It'd be like, meeting somebody that doesn't have a nose. You just kind of go.
Would you drive the Tesla Roadster?
I gotta look at this one. Tesla Roadster. You already have one pulled up. Yes, and a huge astounding no. So I'll give you my yes reason first. More or less because this looks like, basically it looks like a Ferrari. I mean, like that supercar type of look. But at the same time, the huge resounding no, because wait, the orange one there?
That is a 2008 Tesla Roadster. That's the original Tesla.
I do not like the look. Something about that looks like a Mazda Miata, and I would not be able to fit if both seats were available, one for each cheek.
The original Tesla motor was a modified non-electric vehicle. And I'm gonna look up what vehicle it was.
So 2020. Okay. I have no locks on. So the 2020
the Lotus
version.
Elise. It was a Lotus Elise that was modified into an electric car.
Oh, I did not know that.
So here's that's the Lotus Elise.
Oh,
so
I see it.
It was this vehicle modified into an electric vehicle.
I don't like those. I know what the Lotuses are. That style of Lotus, I don't like. There's a different style that's more like Lamborghini-esque. Those are pretty cool. Lotus in general, I mean, are cool cars. Just
how about, what do you think about the
real quick,
Ford GT?
I just want to say this right here. Yes, that being, if this is the 2020 Tesla Roadster, yes. I would drive it to have fun. Would I do that as a daily driver? I feel like it would be just not comfortable.
Well, I think one of the things,
cars typically aren't, though. Like, they're not meant for daily drivers or supercars, not sports cars, supercars.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the thing about the Tesla though is because they're able to strip so much away from it, and they've got so much power in the vehicle because of the electric having so much torque and stuff. I think the interiors of the Tesla are deceptively big in the Roadsters.
I see one
not on the 2008.
Problem.
What's that?
And this is for me specifically, and anybody that is of the plus size. You see these wings here for the seat that are supposed to lock you in?
Yeah.
I'll be driving like this.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't drive a Roadster either.
Yeah.
Not, and actually, mostly like I
see it. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite, but I mean, I can get behind it. It has a very...
You've got a little bit of a grill down there, and it's not really a grill. It's a port there.
I feel like if this was opened up more, maybe there'd be something about that that'd just be like, okay, now I'm liking it a little more.
Yeah,
but I feel like I see the new Mustangs, the new rear-wheel drive or mid-engine Mustang, or not Mustangs, Corvettes. Have you seen the new Corvettes?
No.
They're very okay.
But a lot of those supercars do have a flat spot in the front, even on a traditionally powered sports car, and that's because if they're rear-engine vehicles, they don't need that in the front.
Airflow through in these or something,
right?
But even this one, like, there's still a grill. This is the new 2021 Corvettes, by the way.
Yeah, I'm torn on the new Corvettes.
I like the old ones, don't get me wrong, but there's something about this that just makes me go.
I like the Camaro. Look at the 2020 Camaro, 2021 Camaro. Like, I feel like the Camaro is a better looking car than the Corvette.
Never find a good picture. There we go. Gotta have it in red. Yes. So the difference to me in the way I look at these and I go, yeah, I see this, and this is just that pure grunt of just
That's muscle car.
muscle car. Then I look at the Corvette and I go, that's sophisticated supercar with a little bit of muscle underneath the hood, if you know what I mean. So, but no, I do agree. Me personally, like the Mustangs and the Camaros when they're like this square body style, I love them. Just when they brought these back in, what was it, 16? Like
yeah,
that
I think
square
so.
body. I think it was 2016. Right. Oh man,
when did the Transformers movie come out? Because that's when they brought that body style back. At least for the Mustang. No, it was Camaro on that one.
That was a Camaro.
That was a Camaro on that one. That was the prototype of the new body style.
What was that? Let's see.
Yeah, the Camaro in the original Shia LaBeouf Transformers movie was a prototype. It was one of 3 they had, and they said, "Do whatever you want with all the other cars. Don't put a scratch in these. They're prototypes."
Right. That doesn't surprise me.
And I think they still ruined one of them.
That does not surprise me either. Okay, so here it is, the Grand Poobah of. Oh no, that's not new enough. I need something. Here we go. Never big enough. Okay. Boom. Every Mustang by year. So I think this is the one where no, was that the one where no, there was this one here. I don't know what that version is. No, maybe which one?
Which one? I don't see your cursor.
Oh, that's because of the cropping. I need to get used to that. Okay, so let's zoom in and then drag down. Oh, it still won't show on screen. Mother. There, okay. This red one. We got to figure out this cropping. Son of a. Right there. I think that was the one they did. Maybe. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that was the one that they did for Transformers.
No, here. So here it is. If you look at my screen here.
Okay, go to your screen.
Transformers. Oh, I guess this was the Transformers 3 movie, but that's the Bumblebee from the Transformers movie, and it got wrecked during shooting. That's apparently Transformers 3, though. I misread that one. But they did something. They didn't ruin it that bad. They like dented the original Transformers guy.
2007. Whatever. So let's see. God, is it really that long ago? 2006 Mustang. Maybe that was the first year. Yeah, that was the first
way year. Back in 2006.
Like that's when they started bringing back that square body style. So
wow, that's a lot longer ago than I remember.
Camaro. Yep, that's it right there. There's actual Bumblebee right there. So let's see, 2016 Camaro. That's it. Got a little more aggressive, a little more slopey, a little smoother. So, yeah, I guess it has been a while. But
so what we need though is a electric Cougar.
I'm pretty sure you shouldn't be talking about that like on this type of stream. That's for the adults only stream later, the Cougars.
So this I was trying to find a thing.
Gotcha.
So I linked into our Discord. If you're not in Discord, you should join it. I think everybody here is in it.
Yeah, probably. We don't have many followers.
There's a guy that I started watching, and he is electrifying his 1950 Jaguar Mark V. So here's the guy. And he's modifying it by putting a Tesla drivetrain and Tesla battery and charger in the system. So he cut open the battery pack and he put the battery between the frame. So that's the Tesla drivetrain and that's the battery. Those two are the normal middle cells. These are normally the outside cells. He stacked them on top and it fits pretty well in the frame.
That's pretty cool.
He's like, yeah, just don't step on these because that's like 480 volts between the two.
Yeah, there
It's
should be some big old cones of rubber right over that.
yeah, that's going to be underneath the body, and you won't be able to get to
Yeah.
it. He actually later cuts that off. But yeah, this is literally the entire rear end of a Model 3,
Oh, that's great.
drivetrain, suspension, everything. He cut out the old stuff, welded that in, and then I recently was watching the front end. What he did for the front end was he bought a Ford. What's it called? A Ford something or other.
Ford
Front end.
Fairlane, Ford.
I think it's like a
Ford
Mustang front end is what it is.
A Mustang front end on that car?
Yeah, apparently there's a huge aftermarket for like certain Mustang front ends or whatever, and so then you get
Oh, you're talking about like the driving front end, not the grill front end.
Right. No, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The front suspension
like the rack
parts.
and pinion steering, yeah, the front end suspension. Okay. That's what was confusing me. I'm like, that body style just doesn't
Mustang 2 suspension. So the whole front is a Mustang 2, but he ends up not using the entire Mustang 2. But apparently that's a really common thing to do with hot rods and repairing things, is because it's a Mustang 2 front end, but there's nothing on here that would have fit a normal Mustang 2. It's just that's
right.
The way they say it to make like,
certain parts.
Yeah.
You could call it a Mustang 2, yeah. So, real quick, all right, before we deep dive into our main topic here, I want to just roll through the chat. Tesla could vent air. That is correct. Oh, speaking of venting air, I watched a Vice Grip Garage video because, I do. And he drove, it's like a 1963 Cadillac or something, like 600 miles or whatever. And I saw the most genius thing I have ever seen. So it didn't have AC. And so I used to have this 85 F-150, and they always have these little vent windows right up front.
Yeah,
right?
The twisty
like
ones.
You have your main window. Yes, the twisty ones.
Yeah,
well, this Cadillac just had a normal roll down window. So he goes and gets a Gatorade bottle. He cuts off the bottom here, and he wedges that right in the rear view mirror between the A pillar there and the rear and the side view mirror. Directional airflow. I'm like, that is great. That is epic.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to share that.
Yeah, I had an old Cadillac, it was a 78 Cadillac, and it had a feature. If you push the washer fluid button, the wipers would automatically turn on, and you had to turn the car off to turn the wipers back off.
I don't think that's supposed to be a feature, Justin. I'm just saying.
Whatever relay was supposed to trigger after a certain amount of time was broken, and so you had to turn the car off to turn it back off.
That is kind of funny.
But it had a feature that you would never expect a 78 to have.
Yeah, what is that?
Auto headlights.
Oh, impressive.
Including automatic brights that turned off when oncoming traffic was detected.
Oh, that is
in a
really
78.
Progressive. Yeah, that's not bad. I have something that can beat that though.
Yeah.
My first truck was an 85 F-150, and it had something that no other truck had. This 85 F-150. When you would go to roll down the windows, it would start a little smoke machine so that you can start raving out in your car. Except that smoke machine was also while you were driving. And then the windows would just until you pull over, pull out your screwdriver that you always keep in the middle seat, jam it into the door to unscrew 2 screws and rip the whole panel off just to unplug your switches. Yeah. When you're like 17, 18 years old and you're driving down the road in the middle of the night and your car starts filling with smoke coming out of your door panel, you kind of pee yourself a little. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't have anything like that, but speaking of...
I mean, aside from that truck was great. I love that one.
You know who pees a little bit more when they find smoke?
Who?
The ISS.
Oh yeah, no, I would too. I really would. That I would be peeing a whole lot if the smoke detector goes off and I'm on the ISS.
Yeah, they
There's
they don't know
nowhere to
what
go.
caused it.
Really? They haven't figured it out?
They haven't figured it out. It happened when the batteries were charging, and it was in the Russian module, Russian segment. And it happened around the time that the batteries would be charging. And they turned on the emergency air cleaners, so it just cycles the air faster and cleans out whatever's in the air. And it stopped. And yeah, hopefully more details will emerge in the coming days to confirm everything's truly okay and the cruise is safe. Yeah, because they don't know what happened. They don't know why.
Exactly what happened. No, I know why. Ivan up there, obviously Russian, is hanging out. He's going, these effing Americans. God, why am I here?
And he forgot to unplug the smoke detector.
Yeah, exactly, right?
It's like when you go into the airplane bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. You got to unplug the smoke detector. Signs everywhere says, don't do this. You're dumb. Well, you're real dumb if you're doing it up on the ISS.
Yeah.
No, that is crazy though. I'm curious to see what they come up with. So.
Oh,
but
I almost forgot. Follow up from last week. I talked to Dave.
Okay.
Flight rules are even more lax.
Yes.
They're even more lax than I thought.
Oh God. And I thought
you do not have to file any kind of flight plan. You don't have to do any of that. And you don't have to be in contact with ground control. You just need to be in contact with someone on the ground, and that can be somebody in the taxi company's headquarters.
So dispatch is basically all you need to get a hold of.
There are certain things they have to tell dispatch. They have to say, I'm so-and-so, I have 2 passengers, we're going from wherever to wherever, and we have this much gas. Taking off, go. That they have to say that, but other than that, they just do whatever they want. If you get within so close to the airport, then you do. And apparently, Dave ran a sightseeing thing out of his backyard, and so he would land helicopters in his backyard.
Of course he would,
and take off from there. And he was close enough to the airport where he kept having to tell the airport that he was taking off and heading north.
I suppose.
When you're doing it that way, the rule is as soon as reasonable.
Okay.
It's not even any hard timelines on it. It is as soon as reasonable. And that basically means he would take off, start flying, and as soon as he heard a brake saying, hey, I'm so-and-so, I just left.
Yeah.
Okay. Taking off from here, heading north.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
and
crazy.
So it's even more lax. So he said that at some point, if we want, he can stop by and we can talk about stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So he's busy this week. And
okay, we need to figure out a way to do a live stream from his plane.
That'll be difficult.
Yeah.
The quality we could do a recording from the plane. A live stream you could do like a cellular signal, but it's be moving so quickly that the data strength would be terrible. It drops all the time. I don't think it would be.
No, video would be the only way to do it.
Nope. You get Skynet, satellite.
Jesus, just jam it onto the top.
Jam it on the top. You gotta put it right on the hood in the front of you.
There it is. You can't put it on the top. You have to put it right behind the propeller. Just yes.
Yeah, and with the adjustable antennas would probably be fast enough with the phase antennas.
So I'm thinking even better. We just find out what planes are flying around that time in our area, and we find that 747 that has Wi-Fi on it, and we just fly underneath it, and then we're good.
Yeah, I think that Wi-Fi is satellite internet, and it does like some kind of tracking satellite internet.
Probably, yeah.
So Bill Wilson adds, Oldsmobile introduced auto-dimming headlights in 1952.
Oh, wow. So yeah, they've had that for a while then. I'm curious how that all works. Let's look into that, because that's like today how we think about auto dimming is some sort of like digital sensor. Well, in 1952, they didn't exactly have a digital sensor that would go.
I think they would have a light sensor.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like a digital one though that goes, okay, it is this many like lumens of brightness out. Let's need to slowly bring this up.
So that would be a it's like a photosensitive cell, and those photosensitive cells output a voltage depending on how much light is hitting on it, and then you just have to set it to trigger on a certain voltage, and you can do that with hard
they have those
resistors and yeah, I'm pretty sure that the photosensitive
gotcha.
receivers or whatever, because it's the same thing that it's the exact same thing that works with like your remote for your VCR.
Oh yeah, I suppose. Yeah, and they would have. Yeah, okay. The first VCR came out in 1956. So yeah, I guess that'd be around that time. They probably had something. So
okay, the first electrical light sensors were selenium cells. Go ahead and
jump into our main topic, and that is
1860s selenium cells.
All right, so we talked about this. God, it feels like it's been a couple months since we first brought this up.
Yeah,
Apple versus Epic. And you know what? Friday, they finally came out with a ruling. A win for Apple, but not a win for Apple. So Apple was determined to be at fault, or not at fault. How did they phrase this? A different article phrased it weirdly. Basically, they were found guilty of not allowing people to purchase through other ways, as in a monopolistic idea. But they did find in favor. So there's a couple rulings here. For starters, obviously, Apple is now going to have to allow other forms of in-app purchases. So whether that be some sort of redirect into somebody else's purchasing site. So like Netflix right now, if on Apple you go to Netflix app, you can start a subscription there, or you can go to Windows, like our PC, and go to a website and get a subscription there, and then just log in on the Apple. Now it's going to be, you can go through the Netflix app, go somewhere else, do a subscription, and then come back and log in on the app itself versus having to like do
I know that's like the big thing that Floatplane was having issues with. Linus Tech Tips stuff, video streaming.
The Netflix app actually on iOS, if there's no option to create an account, it is login. Like that is it. You cannot create an account through the app. You can create it through the App Store, which gives Apple a percentage of that. So now that is going to be, they can do it through the apps. And here's Apple won. Epic must pay Apple 30% of all revenue collected through the system since it was implemented, a sum of more than $3.5 million. So, and that is in regards to the injunction that had been put into place while this whole thing was going on. It is an estimated 30% is 3.5 million. So just in this, couple months, that's how much money Epic has made.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like insane that they're making that much off of Fortnite. I mean, that's pretty much what everything was coming from and what started all this. So now there's two sides of this to look at. One, obviously, this is going to open up for other people to get. Is that me? Yes. This is going to be an opportunity for other companies not to have to pay that 30%, which I think we're going to start seeing some trickle going into like Android and stuff. Like either Google is going to have to like make a quick change, or another lawsuit's going to come and head their way this time. But I think because of the fact you can side load games on Android a lot easier, it might be a little bit trickier.
Yeah,
But
they're gonna
'cause
have to. I imagine that that's not gonna matter. It's the fact that the App Store doesn't let you do other payment methods, but I think Google technically does.
well, and that's the other thing is I think they do, but they get a percentage in a different roundabout way.
Well, I think I think the way they do it is if you have your own payment method, payment structure. Like if you go to Netflix, you can sign up directly on Netflix's site and pay your subscription directly on Netflix through the app.
Do this through
the
app.
Android
Okay.
app. You can set up your subscription,
I
and
haven't
Google
had
doesn't take a
Netflix
cut.
in a while.
Google doesn't take a cut of that. But on Apple, they either have to pay it through the Apple Store, or
Mm-hmm.
they
They have to go
they
to a
can't
different
tell
computer.
you can go somewhere else. They can't tell
Yes.
you to sign
that
up for
was-
Netflix.
That
Go
was
over
the thing
here.
that triggered Epic to get kicked off the store was they were saying they had advertisements in the game saying, "Go here, we'll give you a 20% discount if you buy it through our store." You know, that was a bit of a slap in the face on the whole thing. That's what
Right.
like really triggered Apple.
And-
was like, "Oh, hell no, mother."
It sounds like that's kind of what I expected. Is Epic was in breach of contract,
Mhm.
but the contract isn't fair. And so
Yes.
Apple has to change their contract, but Epic was still
Well,
in that contract, and so
Now,
therefore needs to pay
here's
back.
The thing, though, I don't think they're needing to change their contract.
Oh, they just need to take out the verbiage that says that you can't advertise other
Yes.
ways.
But there's
I
still
completely
the-
agree. Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say there's still that 30% if you want to make purchases through the App Store, and so
Yeah.
something to think about, especially with like iOS user or Apple users, that simplicity of just using your Apple Wallet, which is already pre-programmed through the App Store.
Yeah.
Like
It's like using
That's the
your
thing
Google
is,
Wallet when
like,
Android App
exactly.
Store.
Exactly, because it's like, okay, why would I want to pull out my card to type it in to log in through their app and pay it their way when I can just
Right. And
it
that's
doesn't
the
change
thing.
my pricing. It doesn't change my pricing. But if you have that loyalty type thing where it's like, okay, I respect Epic, I want them to get the most amount possible. Boom, I'm gonna purchase it through them.
Or Epic is going to be able to advertise a third party way of purchasing, and that doesn't mean that they can't give you more for your money if you purchase directly from them.
Yeah, true.
And I think that's the verbiage they're going to have to remove from the contract.
Yeah.
You can advertise that you sell it in other ways, and I get that convenience. You pay for convenience, and I think that's where Apple and Google, and I think Google already does this, but I think that's where Apple needs to, pick up the slack. Make people want to use the Apple payment method versus other methods and still take your 30% cut when it does that, but allow them to go other ways, but no, it's going to be harder. Like if I were to create an app and I put it on Apple Store, I'm not going to go through all the trouble of setting up a separate way of buying stuff. That's so much time that I'm not going to do that. I'll just use that.
Is going to use the
built-in tools
way, to say for the convenience factor.
For it's convenience for the developer, because they don't have to develop it, and it's convenience for the user because they can pay with the stuff that is already in the system. And so you're paying for convenience on both sides.
Very true. Yeah. And that is very true.
So you're paying for convenience on both sides. And I think as long as they keep building value in using that, the 30% cut isn't like, it's a lot. It's probably more than it should be. It should probably be 20%, 15%, something like that. But at the same time, it's not that unreasonable. And as long as you allow people to do other things, but then it's like, okay, Linux is free. Everybody can use Linux, absolutely free, but there's a reason people still pay for Windows.
There's a convenience factor with Windows and Mac. Yes.
Even though Windows isn't the greatest, people complain about Windows all the time, but they still pay for it because it's better than the inconvenience of learning a new system.
Yes.
Linux.
So another thing on this whole thing is I lost track of where I was going with this. So with the Apple Store, I'm curious, is there a way that when you're doing the recommendations that they are going to prioritize people that only promote through the Apple Store and lower the ranking of things that, you know what I mean? Like
I imagine
sponsored ads or something, like putting those, oh, hey, if you only use us, we'll move you up the list here.
Yeah, well, I can see, like, if Apple were to be smart about it, they wouldn't. The stat
I know
would
they
be
wouldn't
how
say it
much
like that.
money is Apple getting from it. Not
Yes.
do you only use us, but even if you don't use us, are still enough people using us that you're making us more money than this other one? Then yeah, we're still gonna promote you, but you could be promoted even higher if you just used us.
Yeah.
So I could see them doing, like, playing the balance game.
Areas. Yeah.
Well,
So, because I mean, people
in certain countries that's not legal.
Yes. But now I'm sure there's a way, and somebody much smarter than me with a law degree would probably be able to figure this out. So pretty much everywhere you can have a sponsored ad, correct? I mean, for the most part, you can pay for a sponsorship to, like Google has an ad at the top. It says sponsored right across the top, right before the ad or before your first link. Is there a way, like signing a certain like addendum to a contract that says I will only use Apple Pay makes you a sponsored ad?
I'm sure that they could do that. That would be,
Yeah.
I'm sure that'd be fine. If you only use us, then you get into our free tier of sponsored ads. That gets you below the paid sponsor,
like
but
that.
above the non exclusives.
Yeah.
And maybe it guarantees so much percentage of show time on the App Store or something.
Yeah.
I imagine that's legal.
Yeah. But kind of getting back to the main topic here is,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this was a win for Epic and Apple in two different ways. Epic, they now have their alternative that they wanted. They can avoid the 30%. I feel like there still might be some sort of fee for being on the App Store. Like, I feel like that whole thing is just going to change. But then you got Apple, who at least is getting $3.5 million out of you.
I think in my opinion, it sounds like Epic won and Apple got a consolation prize.
Yes. But so Epic won. I'll agree with you on that one. Because I think that was kind of the main goal. Was we don't want to pay 30%. Well, fun fact. Epic's not happy with it because they're going to appeal the decision because they don't want to pay the $3.5 million. Which, I mean, I understand.
I wonder if they don't consider it a win, not strictly because of the 3.5 million, but because the 30% isn't necessarily going away or being reduced. Because maybe they want to continue using Apple stuff for the convenience, but they think that 30% is too much.
Okay, well, I mean, you have the option now of going and dealing with your own stuff.
Yeah, but then they have to develop it, and some people won't. Like you said, I'm not going to pull out my wallet.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So, I'm just guesstimating.
You're playing devil's advocate here, mother. Anyways, Apple will not be forced to allow user to sideload apps or accept other app stores or lower its 30% fee. So those were the things that Apple actually won on. So there was a couple different things they were saying, okay, you can't have just the App Store. Well, I can actually, because I made it. I don't want you to have it. So, the whole other App Store or sideloading apps, that was definitely like the judge says, nope. But you don't have to lower your 30% fee like we had already talked about. But now, yes, you do have another payment option of like what they were doing. Like that's, my thing with them is they already have something set up, right? I mean, it wouldn't to me, and I mean, I'm not a programmer, but it wouldn't take much. I'd imagine it wouldn't take much to take the payment system that is being used on my Epic desktop account or Epic desktop program and apply some sort of mobile version into Epic Games or like, a game in the app. Because you were telling me at one point there is a program where you can write an app and it will auto adjust to different like formats. Like PC versus Android versus iOS.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
To some extent.
It's a Microsoft thing. It limits what you can do to something that it can figure out how to do it on all environments.
Yes.
And it isn't going to be necessarily the best performer, but
it's a universal tool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and they have the money and they can figure out the whole, like, if you're not paying 30%, not even like 10%, not even a percent is going to take you to get some guys to program you. Hey, let's just adapt our payment system already. So, do I agree with the 30%? No, because I think we talked about this early on. 30% of $3 billion is still a shit ton of money that you're just giving away. So that I could definitely see there probably should be some adjustments to that. But the App Store, I don't see the justification, or I can't understand the justification of being told, no, you have to allow another App Store. Like if your whole focus is security and the potential for another app store could potentially mess that up because of not even just security but stability issues. So if you just say, okay, whatever app store wants to be installed can be installed. Well, if somebody installed some, half-assed app store that they found through a buddy's website and all of a sudden my phone's crashing every 5 minutes. Well, is that Apple's fault or is that the App Store's fault? Apple didn't account for that App Store. Like I feel like that one's a real slippery slope of who's to blame.
At some point, if you're going to Apple for support and they're saying, well, you have an unsupported App Store, we're going to have to factory reset your phone before we can troubleshoot, and a factory reset fixes it, then it was something else that you've done to it. They're done. They move on.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and I agree. But a lot of people can go, well, I'm not factory resetting this. I've got all my pictures. I've got all my music. I've got
back all that stuff up and come back when you're okay with factory resetting, because that's the only thing Apple's going to do. That's not different for any other phone provider.
Yeah.
Like if your Samsung phone was acting real dumb and you went to, well, you're okay, I'm on T-Mobile.
Yeah.
I don't know how Google will handle it, but I'm on T-Mobile. If my phone was acting up and I wasn't like as techie as I am, and I didn't know why it was acting up, and I had rooted it, I'd go back to T-Mobile, and they'd factory reset it. They'd say, "Yeah, we don't know what you did to this. We're going to factory reset it, and if that doesn't work, we're going to send it to Samsung." And if Samsung determines that you did some kind of hardware issue to it. They have sensors to see if you opened it. They actually have something called an E-fuse that if you flash the BIOS on a phone, it blows the E-fuse. It's an irreversible thing that happens so that your phone manufacturer can know whether you've rooted your device or not.
That is a thing.
Yeah, it's a hardware, a physical fuse blows.
Yeah.
when you root your device, when the ROM changes, when you change that, it blows.
Qualcomm calls it a Q fuse.
Q fuse, yeah. It depends on who does it, but yeah.
Yeah.
So that absolutely they can tell.
It depends on who's marketing the features. What it says here
with Samsung, my understanding is if they look at it and it's a hardware issue that's not related to anything with the software, they're not even going to check the eFuse to see if you've modded your phone.
Gotcha.
But if there's something software wrong, they'll check the eFuse, and if it's blown, they're not going to touch it. They send it back to you, say, you rooted your device, that's yours now.
Mm-hmm.
We're hands off, you voided your warranty. And that's the risk you take when you do that kind of thing. Now, that is when you're rooting your phone. If you're side loading, they will just wipe it and use their tools to factory reset it without blowing that eFuse and get it good again. And if it's still broken, it must be hardware. They replace it. So it's not Apple. All Apple's complaints aren't new. It's something everyone else already deals with. They just don't want to have to deal with it, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But if it pisses people off and they leave Apple, then that's what it does. And they know this, and they've made the educated decision that it's not going to piss off enough people. Not enough people are going to leave to make it worth dealing with the stress of all the other issues.
All of those mind-controlled zombie iPhone users out there. Yes, I'm talking to you.
Not me.
I'm very serious. No, I'm talking to you out there. Everybody else out in there that's watching us, that's an iPhone user. You're zombied out. I'm trying to stir up some controversy here. See if anybody gets pissed off. No.
iPhones have a purpose, and if it works for you, it works for you. But don't think that
all you
does
iOS
everything.
User plebes out there, I would grab my Mac Mini and talk shit, but it's over there and it's out of reach because I disconnected it. But no, no, I think most people here realize I just start shit is all. I don't actually think that.
The issue with iPhone people is not the average iPhone user. They're fine. There's no problem with it. It's the fanboy who is so fanboy, he thinks that no one should ever like an Android device because iPhones exist.
Yeah, but
those people annoy me.
There's also the Android user out there that even annoy me when they go like full blown.
Right. It's not, and that's not unique to iPhone user. It's not unique. I believe there are more on iPhone, but that's probably just my experience. It isn't necessarily true.
I think it's one of those things. I remember hearing this at Charter. People don't typically call in to say, "Hey, you did a good job." People typically call in when something's wrong. Same goes for the internet with making, comments. So there's a lot of, especially when it comes to like the whole Apple versus Android or, Windows versus Apple. It's like, or hell, even PC versus console. Like there's those people that will just shit on anybody's Wheaties just because they think that they're right and their point of view is all that matters. But yeah, so I think either way you're shit out of luck with that. So one last thing to wrap it up here, at least with this article. Oh shit, I turned off my iPad. Yes, I have an iPad. Apple hasn't decided whether or not it's going to try to appeal it. Like, that tells me, like, Apple's going, is it really that bad? Are we really going to lose that much?
Yeah.
So, while you have Epic, who's just like, nope. So, Apple's kind of like, But I will say this. So there were a total of 10 different claims from Epic to Apple. What all 10 of those are, I have no idea. I'm sure I could look them up. But the judge dismissed 9 of the claims. So to me, it's like, we got a 90% on this test. Do I really want to go to the teacher and say, hey, let me retake this? No. I think I'll stick with that. So,
yep.
But Apple also, the judge ordered Epic to pay damages for breaching its developer's contract. So that's that 3 point whatever million.
Mm-hmm.
But Apple also doesn't have to return Epic's hit game Fortnite to the iOS app, and it can choose to terminate other Epic affiliated developer accounts.
I mean, that's just free market.
Yeah.
Apple
So,
doesn't
but I
need to
mean,
let them back on. They don't
no,
have to. They
you broke
they
a
should.
contract. Yeah. I have a feeling that they will find some common ground and okay, we'll let you back on. We'll take 20% instead of 30.
No,
Because I
I'm pretty
mean,
sure Apple has been playing hardball this whole time. They're gonna be like
yeah,
they're
that's
gonna
true. They did swing for the fences early on when all this started. That is true.
my guess is that Apple is gonna be happy allowing them to mention that there's a third party way, but making it harder to do that because you have to go log into your Epic account on a computer to pay, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, fine, tell people there's another way. They're still gonna buy it in app. We're still gonna get a 30% most of the
Mhm.
time. Because
Yeah.
again,
So,
convenience.
I can see that.
I think that's what they figured out is that convenience.
Yeah. I'm curious if you'll ever see Fortnite back on Android. And actually, as I say that, I'm going to just hop on the App Store here and see if Fortnite's on here
On Android or Apple?
on Apple
Yeah.
on the iPad. The iPad. I call it the iPad. Like if I search Fortnite, nope, it is not on there. Good luck, Epic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think to me, like them not sure whether okay, so they could appeal it, and what's gonna happen? Okay, somehow they do win that one. Would they potentially lose one of the other 9? That something else comes up during the trial.
I don't know how that works. I don't know if Apple can appeal, if they have to appeal the entire thing, or they can just appeal the one ruling and say, hey, we want to look at this one ruling again.
That's true.
Because if they can specify only that one ruling, I don't know why they wouldn't. But they also probably realize they're not going to win, and therefore are just going to
is it worth the
let it
time
go.
and money? Yeah. I mean, they got $3.5 million. How much money did they put into the trial? Like, can they just call it a wash and tell Epic to go shove it? So, but let's see. Let's go back into the chat here before we start wrapping up. Oh, Photo Diode says markup. Oh, we got John Stevens. Hey, didn't see it come in there. Thanks for stopping by. Glad you could make it. The 1952 Oldsmobile Electronic Eye, the first auto headlight dimming system. Photo tube mounted on dash detected approaching headlights and automatically switched to low. That's pretty impressive. It's kind of cool thinking about like the old tech of, now everything's got some digital sensor versus they have this just kind of, I guess it'd still be digital to some extent, but how they used to do it versus some computer thinking for everything.
I think technically it would be analog because it's going to have a varying voltage, and that's analog. Digital is 1 and 0.
That's true. That is true. Yeah,
it'll be
that
an
would be
analog. It'll be an analog signal system.
So, auto dimming headlights. My Subaru has them and don't work for shit. Turn off with street lights, house lights tonight from the moon. I think. Yeah, I have the auto on, auto off. Like they don't do the auto dimming. Like it's got the sensor that once it's dark enough, lights come on. I feel like sometimes even I go, oh, I better turn that on before it kicks in. But
mine has auto brights
dimming. Okay.
And I feel so for mine, if you there's a like when you turn on the brights, there's like if you hit it twice, you can turn on and off just by the brights lever or something like that. I don't remember. Anyway, but I feel like it turns the brights on too early. It turns on in neighborhoods when I don't want it on driving through a neighborhood. I want it on when I'm in a highway.
Back road.
Back road. There is no street lights and stuff like that. I don't want it on in a neighborhood.
You know what the difference between a highway and a freeway is?
The number of on-ramps and off-ramps.
No. How the on-ramps and on-ramps are done. So if it has just a straight on like T into a road, that is not a, what was it? Freeway. That is a freeway, not a highway. If the ramps actually have like diverging paths, that is considered a highway.
Really? I would have thought it would be the
Yes.
other way around.
Or maybe it is the other way. Maybe I'm getting those mixed up. But you know what I mean. Like it's basically so freeway versus highway.
Oh yeah,
All freeways are highways, but not every highway is a freeway. A freeway is controlled access. That's how they phrase it.
Yeah.
So it's not just a direct access.
So a freeway doesn't have crossings; they have underpasses, overpasses. A highway can have crossings. Yes, so the 52 project is turning the highway.
I did have them reversed.
The 52 project is basically going and it's taking all those crossings out of 52 on the way up to the cities and turning them into overpasses. So 52 is turning into a freeway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Fun fact. I don't know. I just looked it up one time. Like, what is the difference? Because I'll say like, oh yeah, let's just hop on the freeway, and they go like, you mean the highway? I think it was my sister triggered me on that. I'm like,
yeah. I thought, and that might be an additional rule, or maybe I'm just mistaken. I thought the number of crossings / on-ramps and off-ramps also mattered. But maybe that's not even true. Maybe that's the difference between a highway and a super highway, whatever.
Yeah, or an interstate.
Well, interstate just goes between states.
Or not interstate, expressway.
Expressway.
A highway, also known as an expressway. I don't know. But
highway versus freeway versus expressway.
Lydia's on the fence of who really won. John Stevens says, how about fog lights? Most cars can't turn them on without the headlights. Sort of defeats the purpose of fog lights. I've never owned a car that has fog lights. Never have. So
my car's got fog lights.
Yeah, I know yours does. Mine does.
I've had a couple of cars that have had fog lights, and they seem useless.
I was about to say it's every person that I've known that has had fog lights. They're just like, I never use them. I'm like, okay, good to know. I guess I'm not missing out on anything.
No, I don't know what they're supposed to like. Your headlights need to be on for your fog lights to be able to be turned on,
and that's what he's saying. But the purpose of the fog light is to light up from underneath, so you're not catching like the particles and seeing them from your headlights going forward. That was always my understanding of fog lights.
Yeah, but your headlights are on and the fog lights are on.
I know that's what I'm saying.
So it doesn't do that.
To me, it's like you should be able to turn on just your fog lights.
Right.
But you can't. What's the point? I feel like fog lights are a scam. So, Bill Wilson says, I thought you could root, you just aren't supposed to ROM. No, I don't think rooting. Well, rooting's really not even a thing much anymore, I feel like.
It's like, hard to root now.
Yeah. I'm sure you still can. I just feel like there's no real reason to anymore.
In reality, rooting is ROMing though. Because even if you're keeping the stock ROM, the rooted stock ROM is a modified stock ROM that gives you root access. So you're ROMing anytime you root.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, also, so headlights are easier for other drivers to see than fog lights. Also note that fog lights will turn off when high beams are activated. Try that next time you're using yours.
Yeah,
fog lights are for fog to shine under the fog, not shine into the fog. Okay.
Yeah, and that's what fog lights are supposed to be for. Yeah. But my headlights are always on too, so my headlights are already shining into the like. I've never seen fog lights actually help.
Hold on.
It just makes things worse.
I'll be by this weekend with a switch, and it's going to be like a house switch too, by the way, and some old wire cutters. We'll get this figured out. Just like ghetto rig, just a light switch from a house right into your dash.
I have a fog light button.
No, but we need to just disconnect it from everything to where it's just there.
Oh, you can just plug it into the 12 volts of the battery.
Separate. Yeah, but
you just run a jumper from the Yeah, we don't. We can do that. We can put it on a light switch. We can do that. But we're not putting it on my dash. We're leaving it in my engine compartment.
I want. Okay, I'm cool with that too. But can we rig up your starter to the light switch also?
No.
Have you seen them? So I watch, one of my guilty pleasures is redneck compilations on YouTube. And without a doubt, at least every other video I watch, there's always some redneck, quote unquote, that has wired up some part of his car to be controlled by a house light switch. And more often than not, it's usually starting. Like they'll have like turn the key, but because something else is broken, you have to flip the switch to engage the starter, and then you turn it off before it like grinds the starter. So I just want to do that to somebody's car, and I feel like yours would be perfect.
Which car?
Your Jeep, just because it's so nice. We need to just bring it down a notch.
We'll do the silver Jeep. You can do whatever you want to that one. You can have it.
Okay, sold. We're doing that. Okay. Nobody's paid me to take or given me an iPhone, so it doesn't apply to me. That's right, Bill Wilson. Yeah. Lydia, you are right. There is room in the world for both Apple and Android, because there has to be room for Ford and Chevy, and McDonald's and Burger King, or McDonald's and Wendy's, or Taco Bell and Taco John's. You gotta have it all out there. Competition breeds innovation. That's right. Mark Gump has chiming in on the interstate option. Did you know that the interstate system has sections clear of obstacles such as light poles every so many miles? There wasn't a space there, so I couldn't. I was like, poles every so many miles. This is to allow aircrafts to use them as runways during war times.
Or in like emergencies.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's
pretty cool. Huh.
I've heard that before. Dharma wants to. Tell her to come get it. Dharma's my cousin.
Oh, and Stu is the
silver Jeep. It's rusty, and the battery needs to be replaced. It needs a new alternator.
I was about to say there was some other things I thought was wrong with that, but
it has an engine. It has an engine tick. We've not driven it very much since it got like less than 100 miles since we noticed the engine tick. And so good. I'm pretty sure it's the sleeves for the piston crankshaft. Like the piston has a sleeve where it goes around the crankshaft, and that's worn. Yeah, the bearings. And those are worn, and you can get thicker bearings to make up for the wear. And if I do that before I drive it a lot, it should be fine.
Yeah, as long as you're not gnarling up the actual crankshaft. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So that's why we didn't drive it very much, only when we had to. And right now we don't drive any. Like, I'm pretty sure we put 100 miles in the last month on the Jeep.
What was last month? August? Yeah, I put quite a few miles on it in August for some stupid reason.
All right. I think I made one trip to the cities, but other than that, there's been a couple of trips around town.
No, we made the trip to the concert.
Okay, so 2 trips to the cities.
2 trips to the cities, yeah.
In the last month or so.
I feel like, honestly, it's dumb. I feel like since COVID, I've started putting on more miles on my car than I did pre-COVID.
I work from home, so.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but it's also like I've gone up to my sister's more often, which is in rural bumfuck nowhere. So, like, it's a scapegoat from COVID, kind of.
Well, and there's also the fact that you moved away, so now you're here. Yeah, you've got there's nobody around you that's worth meeting, learning.
No,
getting to know.
I mean, that first month, how many trips did I make up to Rochester? I feel like I was there like every other day off. Between I stayed at your house a couple times. The first month or two, I stayed at my sister's place. Yeah. And then I was just doing day trips. So, but anyways, I think we are going to wrap it up there. Anything else before we go, Justin? That you got? Any other articles?
My mom's right. My brother put more miles in the Jeep than I did last year because he borrowed it and drove down to Tennessee.
Oh, that's right. You told me about that for his whiskey tour.
Yep. No, I that's it. I was just looking and I don't have anything else. I'm all out of information.
Dried up. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up there. Need to do a quick shout out to Mark Gump, Bill Wilson, Lydia Gamble. I'm only naming the top 3 people in the chat from here on out. You guys don't all get named. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that to you. Alan Buckley, especially Alan. He gets sad if I don't do a shout out to him. Who else did we have in here? Alan, Mark. I feel like there was a John Stevens. There you are. Yeah, Mark Gump, Bill Wilson. Yeah, I think that's everybody. Larry. Oh yeah, Larry was in here for a little bit. I don't know if we lost him. He probably, doesn't have good internet. But
yeah.
Thank you guys for stopping by. We do appreciate all the support here and all the thumbs up. We got 6 likes. We'll take them. So keep it up. We will be back next week. As I had to think about that, I'm like, yeah, should be back next week.
Yeah, I don't think I've got anything going on.
Yeah. Same tech time, same tech channel. Thank you guys and have a great night. Goodbye.
Bye.